Hi, my name is Danielle Dubois. I run the Hangry Houstonian. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok for all Houston fun and food adventures.
I'm David Leftwich, editor of Edible Houston and associate editor at Houston Food Finder.
I'm Eric Sandler, food editor for Culture Map. David, I think this month we should talk about some of the new restaurants that have opened in 2023 because, I mean, already it's been an incredible year for new concepts all over the city, and I think it's time to kind of catch people up.
Yeah, we'll do a good mid-year review. It's June, 6 months into the year. And I'm going to steal one of yours before you get to it. I have a feeling it's going to be on there. And I want to talk about Mimo, which is the new Italian restaurant close to right where we are over here off Telephone Road on the East End. Chef Fernando Rios and Mike Salmons, who have worked together at Weights and Measures, at DeMarco's, some other places, and now they're opening their own really kind of neighborhood Italian place. And it really reminds me of the places like in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, those really good neighborhood Italian places with just really good focused menu, fresh ingredients, a great wine list, a great kind of casual environment. I'm sure you've got more to add.
Well, yeah, I have quite a bit to say about it. You know, one of those frequent complaints that you hear as a food writer is Houston doesn't have any good sandwiches, which is nonsense. We do have sandwiches, but what we also have a lot of are tacos and burgers and other things and banh mi. So sandwich complaint, miss me with that. But Mimo is really leaning heavily into the sandwich thing. They're working with Cake and Bacon, a local bakery, on this really crusty sourdough. And Fernando's a really talented guy. So, you know, whether it's a braised beef that's kind of his version of a Chicago beef, or a chicken parm, or an eggplant, or whatever he's doing, you know, they're like a whole meal, right? They're sweet and spicy, they're crunchy, they're bitter, they have all these different elements, and they're really thoughtful.
Yeah, great. They have a great hoagie, but don't miss on the other thing. They have pastas. They have really good salad. Like the salad I had was really good. They have a radicchio salad right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lamb chop there. They do this like giant brick of fried mozzarella that's just comfort on a plate. I mean, this is absolutely one of my favorite new restaurants of the year. We could do 10 minutes on this, but we'll move on. Danielle, welcome to the full menu. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
What's a new restaurant you've been to recently that you've been really excited about?
I went to Albee the other night, and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, tell people about that, because this is another one of those kind of nightclub vibe, live entertainment. We've got a couple more of those that I want to talk about today, but tell people about Albee.
Yeah, so when you walk in, it's definitely like a moody vibe with like the red velvet couches, lots of candles. I went like straight to the bar and got a cocktail, and it was a Turkish espresso martini, and it was so good. I wasn't expecting like Turkish coffee with an espresso martini. I wasn't exactly sure what I was expecting, honestly, walking into the restaurant. But yeah, it was delicious. It was so good.
And then, you know, another one of these places that's popped up that opened earlier this year is Ciel. Mm-hmm. You know, kind of near the Galleria. Chef has this incredible resume, you know, luxury ingredients, and a show, right? A singer who walks the room, dancers who perform throughout the night, and then if you're there late enough, I don't know, the sparklers come out and the bottles start popping, and it's, you know, it feels like you're in Vegas or something. But have you been to Ciel?
I have, yeah. I mean, I love the idea of like having an experience as well as a good meal. I was actually at Ciel the other day for their brunch, and their brunch was delicious. Like I really had a good experience there. Their dinner menu, I went a few weeks ago, really enjoyed it. But yeah, their brunch was really great the other day.
David, I want to swing things around to something a little more humble. We talked about Kuji Kitchen a couple months ago when we were talking about cheaper places to eat, but I think it's worth bringing up again.
Yes, this is Chef Keisha Griggs' Caribbean-inspired restaurant. And humble, I guess, is like it depends, because the ingredients are not humble. They're really using some really good ingredients. She's teamed up with Ivy Walls from Ivy Leaf Farms and Jerry and Peaches, which is another. They both run farms down in South Houston, so it's got some really, really fresh ingredients, seasonal-inspired menu, but like a really good jerk chicken, a really good like masala braised beef, these gigantic Caribbean-style samosas. They're not the little samosas. They're like half
No,
a
they're
plate.
a whole meal. They're a whole meal by themselves. Humble is my euphemism for it's in a gas station. That's what humble means.
That is true. Well, some of Houston's best food is found next to gas stations, a la Street to Kitchen. So, really good food, and I've really enjoyed it. And don't miss out on she makes her own teas, which are really good, like this hibiscus tea that's really good.
Another restaurant that I want to talk about is June. This is Evelyn Garcia's restaurant. She almost won Top Chef last year, and she and her business partner Henry Liu have opened this kind of modern Asian American restaurant. I think the fun thing for people is that if you watch the show, some of the dishes that she made for the judges have been adapted for the menu. So like the aguachile that she made for the Selena Challenge is on the menu as a shrimp aguachile. She made a curry for Padma Lakshmi that made Padma say, "Where have you been all my life?" that lamb curry is on the menu at June.
Yeah, it's just really, it's got good, it's really kind of refreshing food, if that makes, I mean, and it's interesting because Evelyn Garcia really combines her Mexican El Salvadoran roots and Henry Liu, who has a deep experience with Chinese restaurants in New York. So they really combine their influences, and there's like great oysters, like with a fermented mango sauce, and they do an interesting take on grits with carne seca, which is kind of a jerky, dried beef. And so, and great cocktails too, as well as some really good non-alcoholic cocktails.
Danielle, let's talk about Muse. This is another one of those restaurants that kind of blurs that line between bar and restaurant, a high energy environment. The chef is E.J. Miller, who I've known across several restaurants, most recently International Smoke, and he opened Riel with Ryan LaShane. Tell me, have you been to Muse? What were some of your favorite dishes there?
Yeah, I've been to Muse twice now. Once was just to sit at the bar, get cocktails. I thought their cocktail list is great. Actually, they have a cocktail that's like a tea-based cocktail. Thought that was like really interesting. Like the presentation's really nice as well. I've only had a few dishes, and it was kind of hit or miss on some of the dishes. And I think they need to get a few more weeks under them. But I had a good experience overall. The atmosphere is really cool. I like the trees. I like the lights. It's like a sexy atmosphere in there. Great date night.
It's a big menu. He's just trying to make everything in house: dumpling wrappers, breads. It was a little bit up and down, I admit, but the stuff that landed, like the Wagyu pot stickers, the seared duck breast, those things were really fantastic.
Talking about people who participated in high-level TV competitions, Christine Ha, who won season 3 of Master Chef, who we all know from probably the Blind Goat when it was in Bravery Chef Hall, and then Xin Chao, which she opened with Tony Wynn, and she's been nominated for or semifinalist for a few James Beard Awards already, has finally opened her official brick and mortar for the Blind Goat, which is out in Spring Branch. It shares a plaza with Fijis Barbecue, and again, it's a very beautiful, open, airy space, and it gives her a lot of room to, they've added a full bar, so there's really good cocktails. The food is, really good. She's got her famous goat curry on there, but then she's added some new dishes. So it's a good, it's a really good addition to that. That little area in Spring Branch is becoming kind of a little dining destination. But it's great to see her really be able to kind of showcase her food in a really beautiful environment.
Yeah, I love Blind Goat. I've been a huge Christine Ha fan since she was at Bravery Hall. The first time I tried that fried rice with the Pinkertons barbecue brisket in there, I was a fan. She sold me.
And you don't want to miss out on her apple pie either.
We mentioned Mimo for sandwiches. Like I said, we're kind of in a sandwich moment. There's Primo Hoagies on Washington Avenue, a Philly import. It's a chain, but the sandwiches are really incredible. And then, but I know you're a local guy, so I won't make you talk about a chain restaurant. but I would like you to talk about Lulu's Day and Night. This is the new concept in Garden Oaks from the guys behind Blood Brothers Barbecue and pastry chef Alyssa Dole.
Yeah, I really like Lulu's. I'm a big fan of both Alyssa and Blood, the guys at Blood Brothers. But so this isn't really. It's an all-day kind of casual cafe. They're making all their own breads in-house. The bakery's upstairs, and so they've got it's a really good meatball sub, a great fried chicken sandwich, BLTs, great pastries, a good drink program to go along with. They've got coffee and. They also have beer and wine, and it's in the stomping grounds up there in Garden Oaks. It's a great place to go for lunch, great place to go on the weekends. But Alyssa's just it's And it's interesting because it really kind of turned out it was originally just, it's an outlet for her to do all of her great baking, and also they do some commercial baking from there. But it's a really good sandwiches and great casual place to go.
Yeah, and that green space at the Stomping Grounds is so, if you go there like on a Saturday afternoon, it's just full of families with kids running around, and that works because, mom and dad can get a cocktail from Lulu's, and then everybody can go to Fat Cat Creamery and get ice cream.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss the Fat Cat Creamery while you're there.
All right, and then Danielle, let me ask you about a place that's maybe a little more grown up. Verde Garden is a new kind of Tex-Mex themed patio bar from the guys who own Heights Beer Garden and Holman Draft Hall. I know you've been there. I've been there. What did you think of Verde Garden?
I think this is going to be like the spot for summer. They have great frozen drinks, several frozen drinks on their menu, a great extensive cocktail list. I haven't tried the food, but I heard the food's great. Honestly, I cannot wait to go try it. The atmosphere there with like the outside, inside flow of it just works really, really well. I can see myself there all summer long.
Well, and the reason that they have so many frozen drink options is because they're making them to order with like a wall of blenders. This is not coming from a margarita machine, so they can use fresh juices and premium liquors in a way that you couldn't really in a margarita machine. And then the food actually is really good because the chef is Teddy Lopez, who spent years working for Ronnie Killen, and we all know how good Ronnie Killen's food is. Well, Teddy was the guy behind the guy for years. So enchiladas, tacos, even like a ceviche kind of situation, all that stuff is really great. And like you said, the atmosphere is really fun.
I love that area of town as well, and I think that it was so needed. Something like this was really, really needed, like a patio vibe, but also like a good indoor space on that side of town.
Yeah, and talking about Verde Garden brings me to the last restaurant that I want to talk about, which is Andiron, just because they're kind of right down the street from each other, and you could kind of bar hop if you were really inclined. But this is the new steakhouse for Michael Sambrooks. We know him from Candente and the Pit Room, and just like those restaurants, like smoke and wood fire is a real big part of that. You can get a beef tartare with this like smoked oyster sauce that they're making, or you can get, a really high quality Wagyu or prime steak cooked over the fire, so it gets that really crusty sear. This is going to sound crazy, but my favorite thing that they serve is it's called a palm anna. It's like crispy potatoes sliced into layers and just like seared hard in that oven, and it's just really incredible. I mean, I love a steakhouse. I'm a native Houstonian. Steakhouses are where we go to celebrate, and few restaurants. I'll be up front and center about it. It's where I celebrated my birthday.
I know, I saw that. You sold me on your Instagram stories, and I love that it's next to Clarkwood, so it's a double whammy for me. So I'm sold. You sold it for me.
Well, I'm going to wrap up with a place actually out in the Woodlands, and that's Zalisco, if I'm pronouncing it right, by Chef Beatriz Martinez, who has a great story. She's immigrated from Guadalajara, and she started her actually culinary career as a elementary school lunch lady in Cy-Fair, but she went to culinary school and then worked for the H-Town restaurant group, Hugo's and Tracy Vaught's restaurant group for many years as the culinary director, but now she's ventured out on her own up in the Woodlands with a restaurant that's focused on the food from Jalisco and kind of some of the surrounding coastal states. She's got really good little mini trumpos that she does. She uses her grandmother's biari recipe, which is her grandmother was the town where she was from, the local biari maker. So she made all, and that's her recipe. So it's really a really good modern Mexican food, and it's really great to see that her venturing out, Chef Beatrice venturing out on her own and really establishing a restaurant up there in the Woodlands.
Hi, my name is Danielle Dubois. I run the Hangry Houstonian.
I'm David Leftwich, editor of Edible Houston and associate editor at Houston Food Finder.
I'm Eric Sandler, food editor for Culture Map, and you're listening to Houston Matters with Craig Cohen.